This death was so shocking that it changed comics forever and probably ruined the childhood of millions. What you're about to discover will explain why the comic book industry was never the same after 1973. For decades, comics were innocent. Heroes always won. Good triumphed over evil. Death was temporary, reversible, meaningless. But then, this happened. Amazing Spider-Man issue 121. The night Gwen Stacy died, a single comic that shattered the illusion of safety in superhero stories forever. Here's what made it so devastating. Gwen Stacy wasn't just Spider-Man's girlfriend. She was the love interest, the pure, innocent symbol of everything Peter Parker was fighting to protect. She represented hope itself, and Marvel murdered her in the most brutal way possible. But here's the twisted part that nobody talks about. Spider-Man actually killed her himself. Not the Green Goblin, not the Fall. Spider-Man's web snapped her neck when he tried to save her. The physics don't lie. A fall from that height with a sudden stop, instant death. Marvel's own writers confirmed it years later in interviews. Peter Parker, the hero, became his girlfriend's executioner in a split second of hope. But the real trauma wasn't just her death. It was how Marvel did it. No warning, no build-up, no chance for readers to prepare. One panel, she's falling. The next panel, thwip, and she's gone forever. Kids across America opened their comics expecting adventure and got their first taste of genuine loss. Parents complained. Stores banned the issue. Comic book burnings happened in multiple cities. Marvel received thousands of hate letters, death threats against the writers. Fans demanded they bring her back immediately. But here's what made it worse. Marvel refused. For the first time in comic history, death was real, permanent, final. The innocent age of comics died with Gwen Stacy that day. And the psychological damage to readers? Studies show that kids who read that issue had genuine grief responses, depression, anxiety. Some stopped reading comics entirely, because Marvel proved that heroes don't always win, that good people die, that sometimes trying to save someone only makes it worse. The comic industry was forced to change. The Comics Code Authority had to rewrite their rules. Death became a marketing tool instead of a storytelling taboo. Everything dark that came after, Watchmen, The Dark Knight Returns, Punisher, can be traced back to this single issue. Marvel had opened Pandora's box and there was no going back. But here's the most insane part. Gwen's death wasn't even supposed to be permanent. The original plan was to bring her back 3 issues later. But fan reaction was so intense, so raw, so real, that Marvel decided to keep her dead. They realized they had accidentally created something more powerful than any superhero, genuine emotional stakes. So the next time someone asks when comics grew up, point them to Amazing Spider-Man 121, the issue that proved superheroes couldn't save everyone, not even themselves. But there's one death that was even more controversial and made fans literally burn comic books in the streets. Hit like if you want me to reveal which death almost destroyed Marvel forever. And subscribe because this is just the beginning of comics' darkest secrets.